The year is 2018, and I am still fat. And a new game just got put into early access by a developer called Ghost Ship Games. It's a mixture of Left 4 Dead and Minecraft, but you are dwarves, and you go on missions underground in faraway lands. And after building the game through community feedback, building out a procedural world generator, and providing a constant stream of updates in early access, Deep Rock Galactic launches into 1.0 in 2020. And it launched into wild success on Xbox and Steam. Presently, if you go to its Steam page, well, at least at the time that I'm recording this, it presently has 178,000 reviews on Steam with a 97% overwhelmingly positive rating. You heard that right. 178,000 reviews, 97%. And speaking of the present, it is now. And me, my dumbass, just learned about Deep Rock Galactic about 3 weeks ago. I must have been living under a rock, because I never even heard about this game until about 3 weeks ago. And now, today, I get to share with you what Deep Rock Galactic looks like through the eyes of a new player coming in 3 years after it launched.
Can you hear my voice?
Deep Rock Galactic has something that many games strive to achieve: a fun and differing gameplay loop every single mission. Now, the objectives that you're doing are, the same. You are going through the same objectives after a certain amount of time, but you're coming into a procedurally generated world every time that you come in to do one of those missions. So it keeps the content loop extremely fresh because of that. Sprinkle in some random encounters that happen during these missions, and another layer is put on, like a nice piece of cheese on a sandwich. And it all starts on your ship. That's right. Dwarves are sailing the stars now. Don't ask questions, just consume product. Here you get to choose what character you want to play as. There are 4 to choose from. There's the gunner, the dwarf that just shoots some shit while also providing you a shield, which does come in handy. He also has a zip line that you can shoot up that you can traverse the world too, but mainly he's just a bloodthirsty psychopath who just likes to fucking kill everything. The scout, who's pretty much like a forward expedition party, got a grappling hook that shoots everywhere and zips around all over the place. He has some a flare gun that shoots up and lights the ever-living shit out of the caves that you're in. But he also has some boom boom sticks for when the going gets tough. You can always just pull those out and start blasting away. We also have the driller. He has drill for arms, which is why he's called the driller. He drills through everything at breakneck speeds. And also, the fucker has a flamethrower, so, that's pretty freaking cool. And finally, the personal favorite of mine is the engineer. What is the engineer? You're probably not asking, but I'm going to tell anyways. I want you to think of Torbjorn from Overwatch. Yeah, that's the engineer. He provides support through the way of the turret that he builds, almost just like Torbjorn does. And he also has a platform gun where he shoots it and it creates this platforms wherever it hits, which comes in handy quite a bit. Now, once I selected the character that I wanted, I jumped in and I thought oh, this is going to be kind of Minecraft, like a build your own adventure type of beat, because I went in completely blind. I had no idea what this game was about. I bought it and I instantly started playing it. So I thought it would be slightly shallow. Not saying that Minecraft is shallow, but it's just kind of you forge your own path to do whatever you want. And boy, I was wrong. Like, I'm talking a full skill tree for each weapon and accessory that you have. There's 6 loadouts for each character, too. If there's a specific mission where you think that you need this type of character, you can get that here as well. There's weapon mastery for each weapon, which unlocks different boosts and also skins for those weapons. Complete customization of your pickaxe if you want to do that. Complete customization of an AI bot called Bosco. You'll use this when you are solo, and I highly suggest that you do. You can turn it off if you don't want to, but Bosco's awesome. A full cosmetic shop that opens up as you level up and as you prestige. I'll get to that later. A full wardrobe of everything that you've unlocked to make your dwarf look however you want them to look. And it also comes with its own specific loadouts if you want to change it up every once in a while. There's also 10 areas on a world map. Each of them are slightly different biomes, and these rotate out. I think it's every like 30 minutes. It rotates new missions into these different biomes, which lends to the content loop to kind of keep everything very fresh for you as you're doing different missions and different biomes, and then those change every 30 minutes. So you're kind of always moving around the world, which is really cool. There's an assignment board, which gives you like a string of missions to complete, which then leads to you unlocking new guns and new items and new skins and new parts of the story and new seasonal content. And it also just gives you, kind of like something to work towards as you're choosing where you want to go. I do want to talk about one drawback to this system, though, at least for me personally. There is an initial assignment that you have to do before you can even unlock, like, really anything to do inside of the world. And that is like a 10 mission tutorial. These 10 missions take you through all of the different missions that you will be completing. So it's used as a kind of like a show me what each of these things are. But it took me 8.5 hours to complete. It was essentially an 8-hour tutorial. There's also a fully functional mineral trade. It's like all these minerals that you get when you're down underground in the cave are used to upgrade your weapons and all of your accessories that you have for each character. And if, there are things that you haven't found yet, or if there's some things that you're short on, instead of making you go down and find that specific thing, you can just trade in whatever you have a lot of so that you can get it to upgrade something. And finally, a completely free season pass. Each season that I have seen, at least with my limited time, it seems as it introduces like a new mechanic, it introduces new story, and it also gives you this like cosmetic tree where you can choose your own path, choose what you are wanting to unlock. You don't get things that you don't really want. You can choose what you want as you go through this like path. And you may think that's it, but wait, there's more. Do you want to play Flappy Bird for some reason and have all of your high scores tracked? Yeah, I mean, you can do that in this. Want to get drunk for fun? Or want to get drunk before you go on missions? Well, you can do that right here at the bar. How about, do you want to get drunk and dance to a jukebox that has loaded songs onto it? Yeah, you got it. You can do that here. And once you get to level 25 with one of your miners, you can then promote them, which is essentially like prestiging them. And, it opens up a few more things. It opens up a forge where you can overclock the weapons that you have. You get these like overclocks by doing deep dives, which I'll get to later. But there's a whole nother level of customization that you can do to your weapons. There's also some jet boots that you can get inside the ship if you feel like flying around the ship. Really, what I'm getting at, and there's still other things, but what I'm getting at is there's just a lot to do on this ship. And all of these things are achieved by progressing through missions, progressing through assignments, and overall the gameplay loop. So, let's get into it. The gameplay loop. Dropping into each mission leaves like a sense of mystery as to like, well, what am I going to get when I get down there? You know the objective. You know what you're going down to do, but because of that procedural generated world, it's different every time on what path you're going to have to take in order to achieve it. Maybe you find those jet boots, like I talked about, which you then have to play Flappy Bird to unlock, which is really funny. But you play Flappy Bird, and it unlocks a chest to get your boots, and you now have those jet boots that you were flying around with on your ship. Yep, you got them out in the world now. Well, at least for that mission. Like, they're gone after the mission. You can also do a perk for it, too, but the perks, oh my gosh, I actually forgot all about the perks. How is it made it this far, and I just realized there's a fucking skill tree in this game, dude? Are you kidding me? Well, past that, you have a mission. Let's stick to the mission. There are quite a few missions, and you can do each mission at one of 5 difficulties. 4 until you do an assignment to unlock the 5th, but 5 overall. And depending on the mission that you're doing, I mean, they get hard at like 3. I've done a few 4s, and that's just like pandemonium. People are getting knocked all the time. You gotta pick everybody up. Like, it is just chaos. And you can also have like modifiers to each like mission that you do. I'm not gonna get into that. There are like 40 different modifiers you can get that have different like things attached to like enemies or yourself when you go down in there. And just you play the game, you'll see what I'm talking about. Once you land, though, you get a lay of the land. You walk out and you see your surroundings, you see what's going on, you see where you might have to go, you light it up, you look at what minerals are around you, and you get to work. All the resources that you see, minus like a couple of them, but most of the resources that you see, you use to level up your character, to level up the guns that you have, to level up all those accessories that you have. And then there's also this red stuff right here. This is important. This is very important. Mine every little fucking bit of this stuff. This is nitra, and this is the stuff that you need to call down supplies, ammo, things of that nature. And trust me, you will need as much ammo as possible, so gather all of the nitra. It is the nectar of the mines. Well, that and gold.
We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich!
But once I get the lay of the land each time that I pop out, I then pull up my little handy dandy map. It's like a 3D map. I don't know, it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. You can see like all of your surroundings, you can see above you, below you, you can see like different things through walls, whatever the scanner is picking up. Like you can see this really cool 3D map of the cave that you are in. And then you have your objectives. Time to go out and do your freaking objectives. Like kill these things. They're called dreadnoughts. They're assholes. But they are fun. Or maybe the dwarves are the assholes? I mean, they are like tunneling down from space into another like ecosystem and like stealing all the minerals from these creatures and killing them. But anyway, once you have the objectives and you know what you're going to do and you've got the lay of the land, the world is your oyster. Do whatever you want. Mine whatever you want. Explore whatever you want. Complete objectives as fast or as slow as you want. The only thing that matters is that you get it done. And once you're done and you escape, you go right back in and you do it again. I don't know if I do it justice saying to like go down, do objectives, go up, go back down. There's just something about it. And I really think that that comes from the sense that this game, Deep Rock Galactic, is a co-op game at its core. Down here in the mines, the classes lend to a different loop for each character that you're playing. Like I said, I like the engineer. I mean, I like it because of the turret. I think that's cool. But it also gets these cool platforms that you can shoot all over the place, like I said, which is very, very helpful in a lot of missions. But then you can also really tandem 2 characters at once. Like me as an engineer, I can shoot a platform, and then a scout who has a little grappling hook can zoom up to the platform and mine all the materials, no matter where they're at. I mean, the scout can shoot 30 miles up in the air, so they just pop up there and mine it and pop back down. And I'm not saying that you have to play it co-op. You can definitely play it solo, Like I said, you get Bosco. He's a nice little robot. He goes around and shoots shit. He can shoot rockets. He can mine things for you. He can carry things for you. He can revive you. He does everything that you could need him to do. He's a friendly little robot. He's a kind robot. I love him. But playing this solo, I think, misses out on the Deep Rock Galactic experience. And luckily, a shitload of people still play this game. Like right now, I am recording this at 5 o'clock in the morning. And there are 15,000 people online right now on Steam at 5 in the morning. And that's just on Steam. That's not even including Xbox or PlayStation. No crossplay, unfortunately, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who play this game on console. And because of this, I mean, if you don't have friends to play with, like if they don't have the game, make them buy it. Just tell them to buy it. It worked for me. But if you don't have any friends, I mean, don't worry. Open lobbies everywhere. Hell, I mean, even you can just open a lobby up that anybody can join on you. If you have a specific mission that you're doing, you can search for that specific mission and then look to join a group that is either about to go into one or is currently in one. And joining it is completely seamless. You literally hit a button and you just load right in and it just drops you down next to where everybody's at. And also, I mean, I know this is going to sound crazy here in the year of Lord Cthulhu 2023, but everybody has been extremely nice. Like, I don't know, like, all of the mechanics and everything that we're doing, and I'll just be like, I don't know what's going on. People will just, like, type out, like, this is what's happening, this is what we need to do, this is what this thing does. I mean, everybody has been extremely nice. There hasn't been, like, any griefing or anything of that nature. But, I mean, joining up with a group and just playing this game as a group really brings out, I think, the best experience of Deep Rock Galactic. And finally, I mean, whew, after all that, there's still one more thing, and that's deep dives. Now, like I said, once you get to level 25, you essentially do like an assignment, and then you can promote your dwarf. You essentially prestige them. You get a little star saying like, hey, buddy, good job. You made it to 25, and you promoted your dwarf. Here's a bunch of new things that you can unlock in the cosmetic shop. Thank you very much for that. And now you can do these additional things. You can go on deep dives, and whatever you pull out of there, you can use the forge to then create these overclocks for your weapons. Now, when it comes to the deep dive, think of like 3 missions, all back to back. And instead of like coming back up to the surface when you're done, you just go right straight back down, a little bit deeper. Get back on the thing, and it just goes a little bit deeper. You have to do 3 consecutive missions to complete the whole thing. So this means the ammo, the nitra, everything you get all carries over. So you gotta stock up on nitra. You gotta keep the ammo. You don't use too much of it, especially if you get one that's not a lot of nitra. And once you complete it, well, I actually don't know what happens when you complete it because I still haven't fucking beat one of these. The first time I tried by myself, because my friend wasn't 25 yet, and that was a mistake. The second time, once he got 25, tried it again, made it all the way to the end, and died. But I really want to see what happens when you beat one. I'm going to open up a lobby tonight. I'm just going to get 4 people in. I'm just going to go in it and beat the shit out of it with 4 people. That would just be the easiest thing to do. But in the end, though, man, I don't know how many hours I am going to get out of Deep Rock Galactic. Because right now, I'm already past 30. Like, I'm 30 hours in, and I feel like I haven't even, like, scratched the overall potential yet. There's still so much more that I need to do. There's still a whole nother deep dive. There is an elite deep dive, but you have to beat the first deep dive to unlock the elite deep dive. I don't even know what the elite deep dive has. I do know one thing, though, for sure. This game has absolutely entered into a rotation of games that I play like all the time, especially when new seasonal content is released. I mean, I still need to get through all the seasonal content that this season has. But once I'm through that, once I'm through the deep dives, once I feel like I've gotten to a place of like completing all I want to do, this is something I'll definitely pop back into when new seasonal content starts. And I'm actually really disappointed in myself. I was hoping to have this out before the Steam summer sale ended, because on Steam, well, during the Steam summer sale, this game was $10. It is $30 now, and now that I have played it, I would spend $30 with zero questions asked. I wouldn't even think about it. I would buy it for $30 because it is well worth the $30. But when it was on sale for $10, holy shit. That is a mega deal. So, I mean, maybe if you don't have $30, maybe wait for it to go back on sale. I'm sure it will at some point. I mean, it was on sale for like 3 weeks. But if you got $30 and any of this looked good, I would highly suggest you go and play this game. I also need more people to play this game. I really want to beat a deep dive. But for now, I'll leave you with what I know now that I have played Deep Rock Galactic. There is rock, there is stone, and it is forever.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in